Tonight we're going to do the convention recap. Can you maybe turn that TV down a little bit? So some of it is going to be a PowerPoint presentation. I want to show you just a couple of things that we learned at convention. And then after a couple of slides, we're actually going to share some takeaways from Steve and I, but also from other people that were at convention. Before we get started though in the PowerPoint, I just have to tell you guys, wow. Like if you were there, you know, like I got chills. This was my third Plexus event. I went to convention last year. I went at the last minute. I wasn't going to go. And there were only 5,000 people there, and they didn't even have to cut it off. This year, they had to cut off registration at 12,000 people. Plexus goes above and beyond. They do things right. I mean, they had like they had Sparks on stage. They had bands. They kicked it off with an Aerosmith cover band. And, you know, the CEO and the president, they rose out from underneath the stage to kick it off. I mean, they go big. So when convention opens for 2017, it's going to open on Super Saturday in January, just like it did this year. You have to register. You have to be there next year. It is just unbelievable. Ashley had said while we were there, like, you just can't explain it. You can't explain and make someone understand why they need to go and how much it really builds your belief. But once you go, you know. So start saving your lunch money now to be able to afford it. There were people at convention who, you know, made their own lunch in their rooms just so they could, you know, afford to go. So it is amazing. We learned a lot of great things. There were people over on this call, every single thing the speakers talked about. We can schedule some other calls, but I'm going to type up my notes and I'll post all of those on the team page for all of the motivational speakers. So let me start now by sharing my screen. Give me just a second. Oh. Okay, you guys should be able to see. This is our convention recap. Let me get it in slideshow view. Okay, this is the convention recap, and this is the agenda just for tonight. Now, look, that's a picture of our team that was there. We represented. I was very, very proud of everyone who was able to go. Tonight, we're going to talk about the new products and the shareables that we learned at convention. The executives and the new advisory board. We're going to talk about the Consistency Club, which is going to be a great way for us to all earn extra money. They also are coming out with rank up roadmaps, success on demand, a lot of personal development and philanthropy. And then we're going to also talk about Leaders Retreat and then do some takeaways. This next slide, I know if you're on the phone, you can't see it, but this is just some pictures to show how Plexus, they do it right. I mean, they had, you can see the fireworks on the stage when the CEO and president came up out of the bottom of the stage. For the Plexus store, they had a DJ in the Plexus store the whole time we were there. They had a red carpet. Like they legit rolled out a red carpet just for the Plexus store. They always just go above and beyond. It's amazing. I've never worked. And even Steve works for a very, very big corporation. And
yeah, wow.
He was wowed.
Real deal.
He was really, really wowed. And then we also had some speakers. You know, we heard from one woman. She kicked it off for the Senior Ruby and Above panel that we had right before it started. It took her 5 years to get to Emerald. She hit Senior Ruby in like 6 months, and then she sat there for 4 years. And her story, I'll type that up in the notes, but that's the stuff that you just can't get anywhere else. It's just amazing. Got a couple chats coming in. Let me see the chats here. Oh, everyone's just, oh, look, they're excited to see Steve.
Oh, hey.
We have a fan club. So you guys have already heard the game changers of our two new products, Plexus Edge and the new Block. And let me tell you, though, where these came from. One, Block, you know, we have a sugar crisis in the United States. They had some statistics up there, and we're going to try and put together some nice visuals for everyone. But the recommended amount of your daily sugar intake from the World Health Organization is 6 teaspoons. Americans, on average, we consume 22 teaspoons a day. That is way more than our body needs, right? Everything nowadays has sugar in it, artificial sweeteners. because our body doesn't know what to do with all of that extra glucose, it stores it as fat. So then it also leads to the obesity issue and then the diabetes and all the other health issues. So reformulating block was actually to help with that sugar crisis. It is now fast acting, and the way they did that is they put it in a brand new quick release veggie capsule. So that also makes it vegetarian. Now they did reformulate block just a little bit. They added chromium, which you guys know from Slim also helps to keep the blood sugars regulated. But then they reduced the kidney bean extract a little bit. They didn't need as much of the kidney bean for it to still have the clinical, so it's clinically proven for it to block 48%. And then it still has the seaweed. The other awesome thing about the new block, the pills are smaller, which is fantastic because, you know, they were the biggest pill in our line. So it's a smaller capsule. We are already seeing people this week losing weight. One, because they actually are taking it. There are many times where I knew I was going to eat carbs or drink, and I didn't take block because the 30 minutes had already passed. Now you can take it like as the stuff is cooking on your plate, and it works. The other reason people are, so we can say it's the clinically proven ingredients because it is on those, Amy, and the same with the Edge. The reason too is because, we're actually, people are going to take it and we're going to go through it more. So people are seeing weight loss. The other one is Plexus Edge. I hope everyone either has tried it. Has either tried it. Sorry. Yeah, you can grab her mouth and like put her in the bedroom. Sorry. Okay, so Plexus Edge. I was wrong about this. I thought it was going to be weight loss. This is even better. And here's why. The energy crisis in America, it's actually the #1 health concern. The energy drink and energy supplement industry, it's a $9 billion industry. 1 in 3 Americans suffer and self-report that they do not have enough energy to get through the day. So Edge is huge because even though people spend $9 billion on energy drinks, you guys know how bad those are for people. They're terrible. I used to live on, I can remember living on 5-hour energies. I'd buy them by the 4 or the 6-pack. So I get it. And when I'd have to like pull an all-nighter for work, or we'd have to drive for like late at night, I would be pounding those 5 hours. They have artificial sweeteners. They have artificial caffeine. So I recommend all of you guys go and do some research on your own, the difference between natural caffeine and artificial caffeine, big differences. Edge, though, it's also clinically proven, and that's something else we can say, which is so exciting. It only contains 3 ingredients. It's all plant-based. And one of those ingredients, the theacrine, is actually patent pending. Plexus has the exclusive formulation to this, which is just awesome. The other thing, though, although it gives you energy, it gives you sharper thinking, enhances concentration and focus, and improves your mood, all while not interrupting your sleep. It doesn't give you the jitters, doesn't raise your heart rate. So unlike Accelerator and Boost that have the warnings on them for people who have high blood pressure or heart issues, there isn't that with Edge. Now, obviously, anytime someone's on medications, they always want doctor approval. But with Edge, you don't get those typical side effects that you get with regular caffeine. The other cool thing is with this caffeine, and this the caffeine source for Edge is actually just coffee. It's natural caffeine. But research shows that when you have this combination, you increase your learning by 10%. Like, there are so many amazing things that are coming out of Edge that we're going to be able to say. So I'm really excited about it. I've taken it. I'll tell you, the first 2 days, I took it. I had like the concentration and the focus. You probably saw my post. I unpacked all 5 suitcases from Vegas. But then I was tired. I crashed hard. Now, I don't know if that was like Vegas, catching up to me, or maybe I just was so motivated by unpacking, I wore myself out. But we have heard some people say that for the first couple of days, they may have to adjust. They may get a little tired. It's got an ingredient in there that calms us. That's what counteracts the typical effects from the caffeine. So just keep that in mind. The thing I like about Edge, though, for all of those people who have quit Plexus because they didn't see results quick enough or they didn't feel anything, you're going to feel it immediately with Edge. It can be taken with Accelerator and Boost. I know that was a big a question when it first came out. It can be taken. I mean, the only concern would be you're taking in additional stimulants. Even though they're all natural, it still is stimulants. So the other thing that came out with these products are the shareables. So when you go to our back office, if you're not going to sit in here, I'm just going to turn it. When you go to our back office and you click tools, there is now a new category called shareables. There are images, there are little GIFs, like, you know, the little movies that you can embed. There are videos about the products, and they are going to expand those to all Plexus products. And the very cool thing, when you share those, they link to your website. So if somebody clicks on the video, it's in your website, your Plexus site, which is great. The other thing I want you to look at, though, in those shareables, they debuted what they're calling I Am Plexus videos. These are short, 1 minute, some of them, they're like between 60 and 90-second videos of real Plexus ambassadors. They're very good. They're very moving. One was a stay-at-home mom who homeschooled her kids, who was going through a divorce and didn't think she'd still be able to stay home with her kids, and she's an ambassador and she can. Another one is he's a soldier, he's a dad, he's a fitness instructor, and it's kind of his little story. So they are amazing. You can share those with people, start posting them on Facebook, send them in emails. They're great. The other thing, I just want you guys to be familiar with our CEOs. This just goes to show you our growth and that Plexus really is exploding right now. When I first started, the only people that were on board were the president, Alec Clark, the CEO, Tarl Robinson, the chief financial officer, Steve Howard, and Keith Jackson. That's all they had when I started. He's the chief operations officer. So now they have Chris Reed. He is the VP of Compliance and Corporate Affairs. He's the one keeping us out of the radar of the FDA and the FTC. Cynthia Latham, she's the Chief Marketing Officer. She's the one that came up with all of these new cool shareables. Dr. Jang, he is our VP of Research and Development. He's the one who is going to beef up all of our clinical studies so we can make all of these claims. Marianne Luciano, she's the VP of Ambassador Education. She's the one, her team came up with the brand new success kits, and they're the ones coming out with all of the training and education we're going to talk about. Mike Green is the CIO. Sarah Borgard is the VP of Global Sales, so that shows you how big Plexus is. You know, we're global. And here's the thing, though. They had some exciting announcements, guys. Are you ready for this? All right, guess what's going to happen in the fall? You know, we implemented a brand new warehouse management system. If you're around in October, you survived like the October back office apocalypse. Yay, us. But we're finally getting to some of the perks of that. Starting this fall, we're going to have next day shipping as an option. Like, that gets me so excited. And we're going to have real-time updates. People will be able to get email updates and know exactly where their shipment is in real time in the warehouse, which is awesome. At the end of the year, are you guys ready for this? So you already saw the customer service option now. They have press 1 for customers, press 2 for an ambassador. Guess what's coming at the end of the year? Live 24-hour customer service chat. How awesome is that? And this, like, I get so excited because this just shows you how we're exploding right now, because I think it was Ashley again that said it. She's like, you know what? You know that we're exploding and we're on the ground floor of this company when online chat and next day shipping is a big deal, because everybody has that, right? Everyone who's established. They're testing the online chat this summer, but they're testing it in their international market. So Canadians are going to be testing that this summer. They're also going to have some more tools and shareables. They're going to focus on a better mobile site since everybody is mobile. And then, of course, they're also going to ramp up our science and our claims and start really building our brand around excellence and excitement. I think you can start to see that already in the shareables that we have. I can't see the chat. If anybody's trying to chat, it won't let me click on it. So we'll get back to it. I'll catch them up when we're done here. The other thing they debuted is the Consistency Club. And this, guys, is a way for us as ambassadors to, one, beef up our customer base, so build our PV, maintain a customer base, and add new customers. And that's going to result in more money in our checks. It's completely optional. You don't have to do it. But I know a lot of us, myself included, are going to have to kind of rethink our business and ramp up activity to get more customers. And you might be thinking, well, how do you do that? And really, you just ramp up your activity, and by default, you're going to get more customers if you're contacting more people. But what the Consistency Club is, there's two of them. It's Club 300 and Club 500. This runs from June 1st to March 31st. It's going to be a monthly recognition program. So to get in Club 300, you only have to do three things. You have to have 300 PV yourself. You have to have 3 existing customers in that month, so 3 existing who order, and then you just have to get 1 new customer. If you do that, you get in the Club 300. You get monthly recognition from Plexus. They're going to start recognizing us. There are social graphics here that you can share and tell your network. But the cool thing is, if you qualify in the Club 300 8 out of the next 10 months, then you get this very nice Plexus folio, and you're going to get recognized at convention next year as part of the 300 Club earners. For the 500 Club, it's similar. You need 500 PV. You need 5 existing customers in a month, and you just need 3 new customers in a month, okay? Same concept as the previous club. If you hit it 8 out of 10 months, then you get this very cool bracelet, and they were very specific. They had one for women and one for men. It's the Consistency Club bracelet. Now, there's going to be a dashboard in our back office that tracks this. So you're going to be able to log in, and at any point, you're going to be able to see where you're at for the month and which months you've qualified for, how many customers you have, how many you need. It's going to be great. And by just meeting one of the clubs, you're going to be able to increase your check and get, an extra $300 a month. Plus, that's also hopefully eventually going to build up your team as you're flipping those customers to ambassadors. So it's really cool. If you qualify between now and Leaders Retreat every month for one of the clubs, you get a VIP upgrade at Leaders Retreat. So 3 other new things that they debuted. They debuted a rank up roadmap. I don't really have any visuals for this, but this is part of the ambassador education. What they're going to do, when you say you're trying to go from silver to gold or gold to senior gold, they are going to send you not only an email letting you know, they have steps you need to take and things you need to do to lay out to hit that next rank. Tons of resources. So I'm really excited about that. They are going to focus on philanthropy. Now, one thing that we heard at convention are the values of Plexus. Their values are be trustworthy, be honest, be reliable, and be responsible. And, we heard from our CEO and the president, they kind of were, I don't know, they weren't the MC, but they were on stage most of the time. And you can just tell these guys and the other executives, they really do have great values. They talk about putting faith first. Whatever your faith might be, put it first, your family second, and Plexus third. And they said that at convention on the stage too. So they want to start, though, kind of putting their money where their mouth is and giving back to the community. They want to share those values and those priorities. They want to kind of create community partnerships. And this list here, girls and women, children, the military, animals, the arts, health and wellness, and the environment, that's where they're going to focus some of their efforts. The cool thing is, because we, kind of are independent contractor, or we are independent contractors of Plexus Worldwide, we're going to have the opportunity, if we want to contribute, and so are other customers if they want. They'll be able to give back to some of these, philanthropic things. The cool thing that came out, it's probably, they said into the summer for Success on Demand. So I hope they stick to that timeline. Success on Demand, go Google it. It is from Success Magazine. It is a digital library that is unmatched. There are over 1,300 audiobooks. There are thousands of videos. There are hundreds of book summaries. Plexus has signed up for all of us ambassadors to get that for free. So anytime from now on, we want to do a John Maxwell book. We want to read a book around, personal development for mindset or network marketing, anything. We're going to have access to it, and it's going to be free. And they're also, Plexus, for ambassadors, they're going to start doing in Success on Demand, like monthly topics. And then they're going to have even more books and resources around that topic. So one month they said the topic might be happiness. The next month it might be, financial freedom. So really, really excited about Success on Demand. The other thing they debuted at the very end is Leaders Retreat. You guys want to get there. We had a call on it the other night on how to achieve it. If I've learned anything about Plexus, they go all out. It's October 27th through 29th. And the way Plexus works, so they always do this every year. At convention, they announce where Leaders Retreat is. At Leaders Retreat, that's when they'll announce where convention is going to be next year. So other than Super Saturday, those are the only two events that corporate does. And then we all got the email about the Leaders Retreat contest. It's similar to the convention contest. So that is just kind of it in a nutshell. That's all the slides I had. So I want to stop the share. I know we've got some chats. And then sorry. We got everyone's dogs barking. So now I want to open it up to some takeaways from everyone. I'm going to have Steve go first. And then I know everyone else who was at convention, they have some takeaways they want to share. So go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, so for me, this was actually sort of my first Plexus event other than Super Saturday back in January. And I got to tell you, I was absolutely blown away. The company, they're the real deal. I sort of jokingly tell people I work for the most profitable company in the history of the universe. So I have pretty high expectations when it comes to sort of the executive team and the vision they have for the company. And are they looking to make a quick buck? Or are they looking to build something that's going to be here to stay? And listening to Tarl and Alec talk about building a legacy company, the facility they've built, the training programs they're putting in place, this Success on Demand, that is huge. This isn't just training that they're offering for you as an ambassador to help move product. This is the kind of stuff that's real personal development. I mean, it's going to make you better at your business, but it's going to make you a better person overall. It was a big deal to me. I really think a company that invests in their people, they're fundamentally different from a lot of companies.
I don't want to cut you off. One thing that Tarl mentioned, so we are a private company. Tarl actually told us, one, he is building a legacy, right, for his family and generations to come. But he has it in his will, the values and the culture of Plexus to, like, if something were to happen to him, that those values and everything stay and the way the company is. So it's actually in his will. I was really impressed.
Yeah, that was a bit of a tipping point for me. I mean, when you take your company and you put the corporate governance in your own will, it spoke a lot to me, that sort of the faith that the executive team has in the business model they've built and the approach they're taking to run this business the way that it really should be run. So that meant a lot to me. And then I'll tell you the other one, and at least for the faces I can see, and I don't see all the names, but holy cow, what about all the guys? The man panel discussion, I'm in the Plexus man cave. I post from time to time in there. And I got to be honest, I was expecting like 30, 40 dudes in dirty jeans to show up. That place was packed. They had about 1,000 chairs set up by the facilities folks. And you guys have seen the pictures. It was packed shoulder to shoulder, standing room only, along both side walls, and packed front to back, guys standing in the back rows all the way to the back wall. Some of these guys are just spouses, significant others that were there trying to understand how to support their other half. Some of them are guys that are working the business individually on their own, building their own teams. You sort of ran the whole gamut of experience and where they're at in the company. Exciting to see it, and not just for them, but I think exciting for you, because I think you're starting to get sort of this man movement where you're getting these guys excited, which means when you've got that many male ambassadors out there, that means your customer base out there is growing too, because they're going to start seeing these posts from guys they know, not just the girlfriend of someone they know. So I sort of challenge you to start thinking, it's not going to be just guys that can sell to guys. These guys are going to see it when you're posting. They're going to see your posts. And I think we're really going to see that side of the business explode, especially, as Amy said, with the new Edge product. I think that's going to be a real easy one to really start building a customer base with this whole new demographic. So like I said, for me, the takeaway was, wow, Amy hasn't just been drinking the Kool-Aid. This company, it really is. It's legit. It's impressive. It's really kind of made me question, how I approach my day-to-day, my day job, what's really important to us. So take advantage of this. This is a great time to be involved, and an even better time to be getting other people involved and sort of passing along the opportunity that you've already realized is there, and helping bring that to other people.
Thank you. So real quick, one question. When will they change the contest points in the back office? It's still showing convention. I think by next Wednesday is supposed to be the first convention credit update, and it'll be in there. It'll be updated. Every Wednesday is when they typically update the convention credits. So the leaders retreat credits. So they'll keep tally of it. Why drink the Kool-Aid when you can drink pink? Yeah, that's right.
Exactly.
So one thing he didn't mention for the man panel, so there was this whole kind of movement to get more men involved. The only slot that Plexus had on the whole agenda to give the men for this breakout session was 7 o'clock in the morning on the second day. So I really thought there'd be 20 guys there, and then maybe 5 hung over. There were 1,500 men, so it was awesome. So, and
they may have all been hung over, but they showed up. They got up, they drank their pink drink, and they showed up, and they were excited. It was really a great little session.
So I'm going to ask. There are several people on the call who were at convention. I don't want to put anybody on the spot, but I will if nobody jumps in. Does somebody want to jump in and share some takeaways? And you'll have to unmute yourself, or you can raise your hand and I'll unmute you.
Time to put them on the spot.
I was going to say, look, Dylan's looking down. Emily's out of screen.
And don't think you can hide your camera yet.
Christine. All right, I'm going to unmute Christine. I can see you guys.
All right, I'm here. I'm here. Echo, sorry.
That's okay. We can hear you.
Okay. So, convention was harder for me because I was sick. But what I did get was I have such a bad echo. I'm sorry. Delete negativity. That was the first big thing. I know a lot of people that are starting out, they have a lot of an issue with negativity. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, now I don't have an echo, so I thought I was muted. Sorry. That nobody else out there is going to pay your bills. Nobody's going to collect your paycheck. And so if you have negativity, you have to make up your mind whether you're going to give into that negativity and let that determine where you're going to go with this, or whether you're going to rise above it and know and have confidence in your products and know that what you have can help people. And I think that's really big, especially for some of my team that are still growing and is still new. The other thing is to lead by example. And I think that's something that the newer teams are working on a lot, especially with things like three-way calls. And I'll tie these together because one of the things that they touched on was that your team that you're beginning to grow under you, as you're starting to add people and things like that, they're going to duplicate what you do. If you're not doing three-way calls, or if you're not reaching out and supporting people, if you're not building those relationships beyond Plexus, beyond just how is your Plexus doing, but how's your day going, then your team's going to duplicate that. They're watching you by example, and a huge part of this business is duplication. You can't get to the top on your own. You've got to recruit and do your part, but you've got to also build a team. And they're going to duplicate what they see. And one of the things that they asked us to do on the first day was every day to find 3 people and ask those people, and it has to be people that you don't know, and ask them to give you some tips. And one of the things that I always have kept in the back of my head, because I personally have a hard time and have had a hard time getting people on 3-way calls. I wanted to know if this was just something that Amy's team was doing and Sarah's team was doing, or was this something that was like beyond us that everybody's doing, and whether they feel it's helpful too. And every single person that I would stop and ask, which I had more than 3, I don't know how you could only have 3. There's so many people there. But every single one of them, I would ask, do you guys do 3-way calls regularly when you enroll people? And only one person said that they don't do it regularly. And that person admitted that they have a hard time with it too. They were relatively new, but every single one of them said they were doing those 3-way calls and that was key. So in doing those calls too, it's going to duplicate down. That's just going to be part of the process when your team starts to add some people, which is ideally what you want. So I would say those were the biggest things for me, was just confirmation that those things that we do, even in our team, are really, really helpful, and they really are legit and good things to be doing, even if at first it seems like pulling teeth to get it to happen. And the other thing I want to say is that I noticed too, and I just have to give props, we have an amazing leaders on our team. Both Amy and Sarah on our team are phenomenal. I've spent 5 hours sitting on an airplane next to an Emerald, and we talked the entire 5 hours. And she actually sat and took notes from me. I'm senior gold, really. Like, I mean, she was taking notes for me about what we do on our team to get ideas on how to motivate, because she, the role-playing calls and stuff, she loved it. We have an amazing, amazing supportive team of leaders that are there to help us grow. There's some teams out there that aren't as hands-on as ours is. They aren't helping so much. And so, don't take that for granted. These things, these contests, these incentives, not everybody has these scavenger hunts and things that make it fun. Not everybody out there has these. Some of them are out on their own, and they're doing this all on their own and figuring it out as they go. So those are my takeaways.
Thank you, Christine. Go ahead.
I'm good.
Okay. Dylan, do you want to?
Yes, I completely agree with her. And like she said, we were sitting on the plane next to, I think she was senior gold, but she knew you, she knew Sarah, and she acted like y'all were celebrities. And she follows you, both of you, and was just like, oh, wow, you have a stacked up line. And she was asking all these questions and just felt like I thought she was going to ask for my autograph just because I knew you. But yes, I agree with what she just said about our team is awesome, and we're lucky to have you. Let's see. One of the things, I think this might have actually been in the gold training, but they were talking about teaching your downline or your team how to share, like how to post. And one of the quotes I actually wrote down was, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do. And that's true. Like, they don't want to see ads and they don't want to be sold to. They want to see your life, and they want to understand why you do what you do. And so they went into what you already tell us about posting, like do personal posts. You can't have somebody sign up and then all of a sudden that never posts on Facebook, all of a sudden start posting, oh, Plexus this, Plexus that, when they never told anything about their life. So, I hate talking in front of all y'all, so I'm like, put it on speaker. Can add on to that, or all of a sudden I'm shy. Does anybody else have anything to say about that?
Oh, don't worry. I'm going to start. I see everyone that was at convention. Kinsman,
Yes.
Ashley, Emily. I'm going to start calling you out, because I know we all were thrilled. You can even you can hide. Betty, is she on here? Who else? One of the takeaways that I had is anyone can do this. We certainly are blessed we do have an awesome upline, a very supportive team. I've heard that from a lot of other diamonds who are like, wow, like you guys really, really, we have a great team. People know it. So we're very fortunate. But there are plenty of people up on that stage who are emeralds, sapphires, and diamonds who don't even have uplines. And so really one of the quotes that stuck with me that I'm going to be using on you guys until you're so tired of hearing it, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. I mean, it's all about mindset, right? And that's all they talked about, is that anybody can be up there. When you look at the pictures of the jewels, they're all different. They're men, they're women, they're young, they're old. They all come from different backgrounds. You have those who have PhDs that are scientists. You have those that don't even have, high school diplomas. And that's the great thing about network marketing. It levels the playing field, right? Anyone can do it. So that was like my biggest takeaway.
Yeah, I'm going to throw one more in there. This blew me away. When we got there, there was a little, it was like a jewel event. It was for senior rubies and above for like an hour and a half, 2 hours that first morning before they opened up the whole session. And it's all the folks that are sitting down on the convention floor, and it looks big even when it's empty. And I started counting chairs. I don't know, for those of you that were there, saw pictures, just to understand the scale of the opportunity that's there. Just in emeralds that were sitting on the floor, there's about $30 million of annual salary sitting on that convention floor, just in the emeralds. Keep it in mind, sapphires on average are making twice what the emeralds are, and diamonds are making twice what the sapphires are. The opportunity to change people's lives, financial freedom, is amazing. And to me, what it demonstrated is it's not a handful of people sitting down there.
Yeah.
I mean, there are several hundred, there are thousands of people that are making real life-changing income off this. It kind of blew me away. You see the chart with the income on it, but to see that many people sitting there and then start running through the numbers, it's a big scale of an opportunity.
Well, and too, so gold, senior gold, those are life-changing figures too for people. One thing they talked about is not to be afraid to share the opportunity. They gave some stats, and one thing I didn't realize, for single moms, if you're a single mom, I had no idea, your chance of bankruptcy increases 60% just because you're a single mom. And when they say those things, I know a lot of us, it's hard for us to lead with the opportunity. One, we project that people are going to think we're crazy, right? That's us projecting. We project that we think they're going to think it's a scam. We project that they don't want anything to do with network marketing. But I think we also are afraid that we don't have a story. Like maybe you're thinking, well, I'm not Emerald. Why are they going to believe me about the business? The fact that you can make $50 in a week on 2 welcome packs, that's life-changing money to people. And so I don't want us to forget that. When you hear those stories at convention and people are crying and tearing up because they couldn't feed their kids, or, they couldn't, they thought they were going to have to, make these major, major sacrifices. One guy who was on the advisory board, he was getting ready to file bankruptcy. Plexus was his last ditch to save his home. So those are the really powerful stories that, I don't want us to forget.
Time to call on somebody.
Yeah, who you want to call on? Look,
it's easy for me because I always like to pick on Emily, but she's hide. Oh, she ran up. Yeah, see, I knew that would happen, and that moved Amy over so she can hide on that side. She's smiling. It's probably Amy. I think Amy probably wants to talk.
Oh, look, she did. Called you. Hang on, I'm gonna.
Here we go. Let's get her unmuted.
Let's unmute Amy. Don't you guys love it that Steve's all engaged now?
I'm like the bad cop, in case you guys didn't figure it out.
I didn't go to convention, so I don't have anything to share, but I'm loving these stories.
You're going next year, Amy.
Absolutely.
I think he was talking, there's another Amy right below you. I think that's who he was talking about. California Amy.
Oh, I thought so. I walked away from the table because we're at the dinner table.
Sorry.
Oh, no, it's okay. So takeaway from convention, my favorite takeaway was actually during the last day as far as like a leader and being the lighthouse. That was one of my favorite things. I loved his speech, and just how as a leader you need to be the beacon and you need to be the solid force in your team and not let all the craziness get to everybody else. So if all the crazy is going on around you, you need to be the steadfast beacon of light for everybody else. And that just really spoke to me, because sometimes you get overwhelmed with all the questions and all the craziness going on. And as, you know, somebody who's always shied away from being a leader, I'm more comfortable just following orders than giving them. That just really spoke to me, as far as, you know, you can have all that craziness and you talk to your husband and you talk to your upline about that craziness, but for your downline, you need to be that solid person so that they don't see that, and you take care of what's going on. So I that just really spoke to me, because I'm kind of getting into that leadership role, and that really helped me. But overall, convention was amazing.
Yeah.
And I've had so many people contact me and just say, oh my God, I wish I had been at convention. I didn't want to work the business, but after seeing that, I think this is legit and I really want to get in on it. And that just shocked me. Like, people that I never ever would have thought are coming out of the woodwork just saying, hey, I want to be there. Especially a lot of men, that men of Plexus, that really, like, yeah, man, I know, they're like, we want to go.
Yeah, that's true.
So I've already got like pre-signs for next convention.
That's a good point, though, because I've had a lot of people too who are like, well, I wasn't so sure about all your supplements and stuff, but you guys have a lot of fun and I want to be part of it. You know, there are a lot of people who was I talking to? Oh, at the opportunity meeting we had here in Houston last night, there was somebody who said what she was
Michelle.
Yeah, what she was looking for, and during that moment in her life, was girlfriends. That's all she wanted. That's why she joined Plexus. She wanted friends. She wanted friendship. She wanted fun. And so I think, you know, that's another good point. Seeing us posting all that, I've gotten people too that are like, oh yeah, I want to be a part of that now.
Well, and it got me frankly fired up for Leaders Retreat too, to go spend more time with y'all. And, you know, we're all spread all over the place. And other than, you know, the people that are surrounding each other and easy to access, these kind of things are the only times that we get to go hang out with each other. And I just think that's great. I think it's a great incentive and a great perk to network marketing for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I will say convention is pretty jam-packed. There were some free moments. Leaders Retreat, you guys really want to go. Betty and Michelle were there last year. There is so much downtime. It is like so much fun to just hang out with your team, bond with your team, bond with our sidelines, uplines, whatever. So definitely try. We all want to be at Leaders Retreat. A couple other things. So Emily's hiding because Steve called her out. She said, though, that she did say, though, that she their gold training focused a lot on leading their team and helping them get started with the business. I think a lot of times we really hesitate with going right into the business right away. The other thing, I love it, Dylan, there's a video going out from Diamond Jessica Heffley. And she had a great quote when she gave her speech. She said, what other company can an introvert make more than a brain surgeon in their yoga pants from an iPad? And, you know, that's huge. And, you know, it's not about, I wanted to say this earlier when Steve was talking about it. It's not about the money. I mean, money certainly makes things easier. You need it to survive. You need it to do things. But it's not about the money. It's about living life on your own terms. And a lot of times, you know, people will say, oh, you're only in it for the money. No, I'm in it to live life on my own terms. We don't care if you give all the money away, right? But that's the opportunity to share with people. You know, how long do you want to keep going into an office, you know, working for somebody else 40 hours a week? You want to do that for the next 40 years? If you do, that's fine. And you can give all your Plexus money away. But a lot of people don't want to do that. They want to live life on their own terms. Yes, and she was wearing $3.99 high heels when she made that comment. That's right. So, you know, any other takeaways anybody wants to share? If not, we're going to kind of cut the call here. If you guys have any questions, you can chat them. We're going to type up our notes because they did have a lot of great speakers. Like Rita Davenport was a great speaker. Victor Antonio was the MC. He is awesome. If you have not seen his show on the Spike channel, it's Life or Debt. He is amazing. He's all about mindset, though. Even on his debt show, it's It's all about mindset. He loves Plexus. You probably saw him in the Super Saturday video. And so we'll type up all of our notes, and then each of us are going to type up our notes from the individual ranked breakout sessions to share those and have some individual calls on those. So yeah, one Plexus is the real deal. So true. All right, guys. No other questions about the new products, the consistency, none of that? You guys are good? All right.
Can I put a plug in?
Uh-oh.
We got a Men of Plexus call coming up next week. So me and a handful of the guys, we're going to get together. So ladies, get your fellas on the line, because between you and I, they're not doing anything, right? They're in the other room right now watching VCR tapes football games. They're 10 years old. So get them off the couch or keep them on the couch, but put your iPad or your laptop in front of them. I want to get a discussion going with these guys, because one of the other things I took away from the convention was you got to have belief and you got to have support. Let's get these guys engaged. So that's my plug. We'll get that call out next week. We've been having a few chats about what we're going to talk about, but really excited to be engaged.
Yeah, me too. So they're going to look at
that.
Nathan.
I see that.
Nathan's sporting his Men of Plexus shirt. There you go. That's what we're talking about. So they're going to talk about, one, how to support your spouse, significant other, sister, whatever, how to support someone who's an ambassador as a man, but then also how to work the business as a male ambassador too. This is going to be a monthly call. They're going to rotate the guys that are on it sharing. These guys are going to kind of share their stories on Thursday. It's going to be Steve, Lee Cunningham, Sarah's husband, Dakota Renfro, who you guys love, Jill.
Woo, dog it. Is that his video today, I think?
Yeah, so Dakota is like Boomhauer from King of the Hill. He's going to be on there. And Ryan Day, you guys probably don't know him. Allie Day is going to be a guest speaker on our call in a couple weeks. Her husband, Ryan, she's a new Emerald under Jill. And then, Gavin Taylor. Yes, Sarah's husband, Gavin. So they're all going to be on
Sapphire Gavin. He's a jewel. Let's give him his credits there.
You're crazy. All right, guys. Thank you.